South suburban leaders spent the last few days handing out free turkeys ahead of Thanksgiving. But in Thornton Township, the trustees say embattled Supervisor Tiffany Henyard
says she is endorsing a new board, but not announcing who they are just yet. Instead, promising to name them later this month. Henyard is under investigation by...
It's Thanksgiving season in Thornton Township, Illinois, but the focus has shifted from turkey giveaways to the ongoing drama surrounding Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. While most leaders use the holiday season to spread goodwill, Henyard seems to be using it to stage a political spectacle. This year's turkey drive, a long-standing community tradition, has been overshadowed by chaos, infighting, and allegations of corruption. As the only person standing in the way of the lawmakers, Henyard seems to be using it to stage a political spectacle. Residents and trustees are divided over the embattled super mayor. Let's break this down. What should have been a feel-good event for the township has turned into a heated controversy. Henyard, who also serves as the mayor of Dolton, has been distributing turkeys and smoked ham hocks ahead of Thanksgiving. On the surface, it seems like a kind gesture, but critics argue it's nothing more than a distraction from the mounting issues surrounding her administration. Christopher Gonzalez didn't hold back, accusing Henyard of trying to desperately get us into a meeting to push through her agenda. Gonzalez, along with fellow trustee Carmen Carr, has been boycotting recent board meetings, effectively preventing the quorum needed to conduct official township business. Internally, Gonzalez, along with fellow trustee Carmen Carr, has been boycotting meetings with the chamber, shelding worship practices using social media. Now, a lot of people arguing here that Christopher Gonzalez didn't hold back us into a meeting to push through her agenda to persuade board meetings and effect changes in regulations that were being deliberated, when she deployed Capitol Police forces for days to rescue thousands of American terrestrians from the frontline jewelers. Now, I haven't read all 8 years of Scientology, including their absence is no accident. They're standing firm, refusing to let Henyard push decisions through without proper oversight.
This is your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor / people's supervisor. We are still out here feeding all the residents.
So why all the drama over a simple turkey giveaway? It's not just about the turkeys. It's about the timing. Henyard's administration has been plagued by accusations of financial mismanagement, questionable spending, and a lack of transparency. Critics see these giveaways as a way to distract residents from the bigger issues looming over her leadership. Trustee Gonzalez didn't mince words, questioning the urgency behind Henyard's recent push to fill a vacant trustee seat. "Why is there such desperation to get us to a meeting?" he asked. Both he and Trustee Carr have made it clear they'd prefer the vacancy to go to a public vote, rather than allow Henyard to appoint someone who might simply rubber stamp her decisions. And honestly, who can blame them? The township's finances are a mess, with ongoing disputes over spending priorities and no clear answers on where taxpayer money is going. And then there are the theatrics, something Henyard has become known for. At a recent non-meeting, because let's be real, that's exactly what it was, Henyard addressed a small crowd, blaming the trustees for the gridlock. She claimed bills couldn't be paid and accused her critics of conspiring against her. But that wasn't all. Henyard later took to Facebook Live for a 50-minute rant, doubling down on her accusations and even threatening legal action. "When I sue everybody, because I'm coming." "No, I'm coming," she said. "This is facts. This is not fiction." It was a bold statement, but for many residents, it did little to ease their frustrations. People are tired of the constant drama and just want their township to function the way it's supposed to.
up early because 2 trustees, as you mentioned, did not show up. Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle. Without them, not enough board members were present to make.
One resident, Denise Clark, who recently moved to the area, voiced her frustration with the ongoing chaos. She explained that she had hoped to escape Chicago-style politics, only to find herself in what she described as babysitting local officials. While Clark urged people to give Henyard the grace to finish her term, many others in the community feel differently. Henyard will keep taking phone calls. "I'm sorry, I'll be glad to do so." For them, the turkey giveaways and Facebook rants are nothing more than distractions from the real issues, like the township's financial health and the lack of progress on key initiatives. The tension between Henyard and the trustees isn't new. It's been building for months, with both sides blaming each other for the gridlock. But now the stakes are higher than ever. Henyard has been touting a supposed surplus in the township's general fund, even claiming there's enough money for a 100% property tax refund for residents. Sounds great, right? Except trustees like Gonzalez aren't buying it. 100% of what? 100% to who? We haven't been given any of those facts, he said, calling out the lack of details behind Henyard's claim. The skepticism is understandable, especially given Henyard's track record of opaque decision-making. And it's not just trustees raising concerns. Residents are becoming increasingly vocal about their dissatisfaction. At a recent meeting, one frustrated attendee grabbed the microphone and asked, "Why won't you step down?" Others have pointed out that while Henyard appears focused on defending herself and her image, critical issues like public safety and financial accountability are being neglected. Do we hear any plans about safety with the new police chief? Do we hear anything about guns? No, it's about protecting her. It ain't about protecting the village, one resident said, summing up the growing frustration in the community.
Resident, pay me what you owe me.
The controversy surrounding Henyard isn't confined to the township level. In Dalton, where she serves as mayor, she's facing even more vocal opposition. Trustees there have accused her of financial mismanagement and have gone as far as hiring former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate the village's finances. The findings were troubling: a nearly $3.5 million deficit in the general fund and questionable use of the village credit card, including purchases from Amazon and Wayfair. One particularly shocking revelation was a $43,000 charge to Amazon in a single day in January. It's no surprise that both residents and trustees have lost faith in her ability to lead. She had the ring to center herself. She did not care about the coming together of the neighborhood and laughed in the face of formalized leadership. Also during COVID, the neighborhood was increasingly transformed into what I call the village credit card, including purchases from Amazon and Wayfair. One particularly shocking revelation was a charge to Amazon in a single day in January. Almost 500 pounds worth of beauty products to minimize negative stigma against the village. As if financial troubles weren't enough, Henyard is also facing personal legal issues. She and her boyfriend, who together earn over $300,000 annually from taxpayer-funded salaries, are facing eviction from their rented home. Their landlord, Janetta Hull, claims they haven't paid rent since August, and even changed the locks to keep them out. Hull, who once considered Henyard a friend, now says she regrets renting to the couple. Henyard exhorted her to release her renters and arrest them in Boulder. Legal action according to a new... At some point, you have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you, Hold said, adding that even if the couple pays their overdue rent, she wants them out. The drama doesn't stop there. Earlier this year, federal agents served subpoenas seeking financial records from both Dalton and Thornton Township. Henyard has denied any wrongdoing, but these investigations have only added fuel to the fire. I think that there are going to be times where I don't have room in my life for subject possible liability anymore at some point, so that's why I said it. Critics have even labeled her the worst mayor in America, a title Henyard seems determined to contest, despite the growing controversies. Her leadership style, many argue, isn't just controversial, it's authoritarian. From calling the police on workers removing banners featuring her face to threatening legal action against trustees, Henyard appears to be waging a one-woman war against dissent. In one particularly bizarre incident, she demanded charges be filed against village staff who had removed her self-promotional signs, following trustee orders. So, police body cam footage shows her telling officers, "Press charges on him, and if I have to press charges on them too, I will." The banners, which boldly proclaimed her as super mayor, were later returned to her team by the interim police chief she had appointed, raising further concerns about her use of law enforcement for personal gain. This isn't the first time Henyard has used township resources to her advantage. Trustees have long accused her of bypassing procedures to hire allies, approve contracts, and push through pet projects. For instance, her recent appointment of Ronald Burr as Dalton's interim police chief. Credentials were immediately questioned, with state regulators confirming he hadn't requalified for active duty since 2021. Despite a court ruling allowing him to serve temporarily, trustees have vowed to challenge the appointment in court. This person has the same level of unprofessionalism as her previous appointee, Trustee Kiana Bella remarked, referring to the village's history of questionable leadership hires under Henyard's administration. Bet that felt like challenging, you say. What's more, Henyard's focus on self-promotion has left basic municipal operations in disarray. Reports have surfaced that the village office recently ran out of paper and ink, leaving clerks unable to process routine documents until supplies were ordered. One resident sarcastically remarked, "We've got money for parties and banners, but we can't get printer paper." The irony wasn't lost on the community, which continues to struggle with crumbling infrastructure and dwindling public trust. Not very right with everything the village is going through, complains the federal government is tearing down all of the roads. It's kind of interesting to watch on screen. For many, these small details symbolize a larger issue, a government more focused on personal branding than on basic governance. But here's the kicker. Henyard isn't backing down. In fact, she's announced her intention to run for re-election in Dalton. She's already facing stiff competition from trustee Jason House, who's been a vocal critic of her leadership. House, along with a slate of other candidates, is running on a platform of restoring transparency and accountability to the village. Meanwhile, Henyard continues to insist she'll win by a landslide, even comparing herself to former President Donald Trump in her confidence. It's a bold claim, but many residents find it hard to believe, given the current state of affairs. Which means I have to admit that to me, that sounds like truth.
Looked at it, I thought, what is she running for now? Because that's what it...
As the township and village brace for the upcoming elections, one thing is clear. The drama surrounding Tiffany Henyard is far from over. From turkey giveaways to eviction notices, her tenure has been anything but ordinary. The question now is whether voters will give her another chance or decide it's time for a change. In the comments section of a recent video covering the controversy, fans didn't hold back, and hands scrambled to reply with the following messages. For turkey giveaways and the controversy, fans didn't hold back. Which, for turkey giveaways, fans didn't hold back. One person wrote, Dalton PD needs to be fired and disbanded. Some officers need to be arrested. The sheriff needs to take over. Another added, I think that's why Tiffany has these events in Dalton. She can control the police to take care of things. These sentiments highlight the growing frustration within the community, where many believe Henyard's actions are more focused on consolidating power than on serving the people. So what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard a misunderstood leader, trying her best in a tough situation? Or is she using these public gestures to deflect from deeper issues? With elections just months away, will voters stick with the devil they know or take a chance on new leadership? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for more updates as this story continues to unfold.